Hello, everybody. Rabbi Randy here, and it is the sixth day of Sukkot today, the holiday of Sukkot. And I am actually, I don't know if you could tell or not, but I'm in a sukkah, and specifically, I'm in the CRC sukkah, which is really exciting. I'm kind of planting myself. There's a little Sukkot uh, joke there because it's about the harvest and planting. But I kind of planted myself today and working from the sukkah, and just it's a beautiful day here in St. Louis. So really excited to be in the sukkah and to be doing this message to you. Um, I love Sukkot. I often sort of half joke, but I think I'm kind of serious when I say Sukkot is my favorite Jewish holiday, and then I kind of don't tell all the others, don't want to make them jealous, but it is two main reasons. Sukkot is my favorite holiday, Jewish holiday. If you observe Sukkot, you have to go outside, and I'm an outdoors guy. I love being outside. I love the fact that everyone who does Sukkot has to go outside, even if they're not outdoors people like I am, because you have to build your sukkah outside. It's temporary, and it's supposed to be, part of it at least, open to open air, right? You're supposed to be able to see through the roof to the blue sky in the day and the stars at night. And you can even here in urban setting, in our urban synagogue, I can you can hear the sounds too. It feels like you're in nature. The sukkah's decorated with autumn leaves, and there's pumpkins and squashes, and we got great decorations from the kids in the nest. Let's see if I can paper chains. Um, so it gets you outside. You have to go outside if you're going to do Sukkot, and it feels so good to be out here. Um, Eat in your sukkah, so people sleep in their sukkah. So it's great. The other part about Sukkot that I love is it also gets you, if you observe Sukkot, it forces you to connect to your neighbors in your neighborhood, right? You can't stay in your apartment or house or your permanent place if you want to do Sukkot. You have to get outside, and your Sukkah, as I said, is open. Therefore, whoever's out there, whoever they are, they see you, you see them, you connect to them, they connect to you. So it connects you to nature, outdoors, and to each other and to neighbors. One of my favorite Sukkot stories is from Israel. Amy and I were spending the year in Jerusalem for my rabbinical studies, and we went to the city of Sfat for Sukkot, for part of Sukkot. It's a gorgeous city. If you've been there, it's in the mountains. Um, and one night we were out, and we heard this amazing drumming. And we followed the drum, we followed the sound, and Sukkot, Sfat it's really windy and hilly, and kind of gets you lost. It's kind of a neat place to get lost. So we are walking, trying to find the drum. We found it. The source of the drum, of course, was from a sukkah. It was Sukkot, and we just sort of sat outside this sukkah, and we listened to this amazing drumming that was happening. And finally, when there was and he was chanting, the person drumming was chanting, and as soon as the drumming stopped and the chanting stopped, we kind of applauded, And all of a sudden, this person stuck his head through the door of the sukkah, the open door, and said, "Oh my gosh, come on in!" And of course, none of this would have happened if it wasn't Sukkot. We wouldn't have heard the drumming if he was in his apartment. He wouldn't have invited us. None of it, right? So we come in, and here's this guy, and really interesting looking person that led to sort of revealing who he was. But he had long hair, even longer than mine. But he had a kippah, and he had a talit katan, that kind of talit poncho with the fringes over his undershirt. Clearly, he was sort of some hybrid of hippie and Orthodox, was my first thought. And then, of course, that was true. He said his story is that he was a Tel Aviv guy, Jewish, but very secular, not involved in any religious Judaism. But he was a rock and roll drummer in a band. And then he found Orthodoxy and became very observant and Orthodox Jewish. But he moved to Sfat from Tel Aviv, and but he retained his love of drumming. There you go. And so anyway, that was we got to know Ronan is his name, and in fact, because of that encounter, we went to Spot 2 or 3 more times, and we got to meet his family. We had dinner at his house. Um, so anyway, that's part of that connecting to neighbors. So um, as I said, I'm in the CRC Sukkah. I've got amazing memories from the CRC Sukkah. I just want to say some of them because, oh, this Sukkah that I'm in is a smaller version of our regular Sukkah. We wanted to have a Sukkah because it's Sukkot, but obviously nowhere near the amount of people are going to come to our Sukkah that do when we're not in a pandemic sort of shutdown phase. But there is some activity in the sukkah. I'm here. The kids from the Nest, our preschool, have been coming here, and the not preschool, daycare, and also, oh yeah, we're collecting in our shelter because the sukkah is a shelter. We're collecting items for a homeless shelter called Gateway 180 in the city, and so there is information if you're a CRC member. You should have information about when there will be someone in the sukkah collecting um, items that the homeless shelter needs. But I do have lots of memories of our sukkah and the way we used it. Certainly, I have great memories of all the kids that have been in our sukkah, my own kids, and then when we have Shabbat school on Saturday morning of Sukkot, and we have family services in here, and Hebrew school on Wednesday, the service in there, and the sukkah is just filled with kids and teachers, and we're singing and outside. It's wonderful. I also have great memories of the men's Sukkot dinner. We also have a women's Sukkot dinner and an LGBT Sukkot event, but I go to the men's Sukkot dinner and been having them forever, and they're always a great time. Lots of laughs and stories and singing, um, and teachings. Miss you guys if you're watching this and you're part of the men's Sukkot dinner or you've been to one. Next year, let's really be open and hopeful that we'll have a full Sukkah next year. We had a great block party to celebrate the 7th anniversary of the synagogue being here a number of years ago, and we invited all of our neighbors and people from the churches in the neighborhood, and we had music, and it was all centered around the sukkah. That was amazing. Refuah Shlema for the ambulance, the siren. And I also have a really strong memory of the year 2014 that we kept the sukkah up. It's supposed to only be up for a week, it's temporary, but we kept it up all through the winter, the year of Ferguson. We put a sign up and said we want to keep this shelter of peace here, with hopes that peace and justice come to our city that's riven apart. Simchat Torah is always, the sukkah's still up, and we always dance with the sukkahs outside dance with the Torahs outside through the sukkah. So lots of amazing memories, and I know that there'll be more to come. I did want to show everybody. I'm going to take a walk here. Hope I don't make you too dizzy, because not everyone, even people that come to our synagogue often, might not always see this. But if you could see the name over the door, I'm not sure how that's going to come out, but oh wait, there we go. There we go. Where it says Central Reformed Congregation, underneath it says Sukkot Shalom. So I'm going to walk back and keep talking. Sukkot, there's that word sukkah. It's a form of the word sukkah. It's just it's a grammatical construction, but it's sukkah, a sukkah of shalom, a sukkah of peace. That's what we call our building. When we built this building in 2000, a shelter, a sukkah of peace. So, we like to think of our synagogue as a sukkah even all year round. But then when we build the sukkah during Sukkot, it's so cool because it's like an extension of our building. It pushes our synagogue building into the outdoors, right? That, like, symbolizing that we want to be part of the neighborhood. We want to be part of the city. We want to not, we love our synagogue, but we don't want to close ourselves off in there. And I love that the design of the sukkah is that it comes right from, it's like an extension of our synagogue building. So I'm just really happy to be here. I hope you can ascertain that. I let's see. So I want to make the blessings and maybe sing a song, and then that'll be my Sukkot message for the sixth day of Sukkot of Sukkot. So the blessing for just being in the Sukkah. So this is for me. I'm here. If you get to a Sukkah today, this will cover you too. It's the mitzvah blessing. It ends with Leishev Basukkah, the mitzvah of hanging out, I like to say, in the Sukkah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu leishev basukkah. Blessed is the Holy One whose presence fills creation, where we learn about mitzvahs, sacred deeds that fill our lives with meaning and purpose, including this mitzvah, this sacred deed of hanging out in the Sukkah. And then let's shake the lulav and etrog here, this mitzvah. So, we've got the four species, we call it, natural from nature. We've got the etrog. We have the myrtle, the branch for the myrtle, the palm branch, and the willow branch. Put them all together, they're the four species. And this is what I do. I'm going to make the blessing. I'm going to shake them in all the directions, and there's more than you think. I'm going to use the word ruach instead of melech, spirit instead of royalty or king or ruler. Also a mitzvah blessing, this time al nitilat lulav, the mitzvah of lifting up and shaking, waving the lulav to all of the sacred directions. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al nitilat lulav. So I go like this. I know for a fact that this direction is east. And the directions in Hebrew are ruchot, the winds. There's that word ruach again. The winds, right? Not quadrants like in English direction, but what happens in one spot impacts all the spots. We know that, right? So it's a little more fluid kind of way of thinking about directions, but either way, east. The word in Hebrew for east is kedem, for beginning, because that's the direction. We see the sunrise. Over here is the south, Negev, like the Negev desert, for clarity. Behind me over there is the west, Ma'arav, for healing. Ma'arav with the word Erev, sunsets, evening. And then north to North St. Louis over the Delmar Divide, which we hope gets bridged finally once and for all. Safon, the hidden, mysterious energy. All right, so that's 4. I also went, well, of course, up to the sky, the blue sky, the Shemayim, down to the earth. Earth is very important in Sukkot. It's an earthy holiday, Adamah, the earth. And then that's 6. I also add to the self, to yourself. And then, there's no one really, well, there's a gentleman out there waiting for the bus. So to others, to other people. So that's that. I guess, the other thing that really resonates with me about Sukkot, it feels like there's a kinship with all kinds of holidays that are of other traditions that are earthy and about the earth and have that sort of nature-based. And I think about Native American spirituality, and so sometimes I take this spirit stick that I love and I use it as a lulav, And that's where this song comes in. This is I hope my guitar's in tune. I have my home guitar I've been using. So this is going to be tricky. Oh man, I'm so sorry. This is an adventure. Arlo Guthrie used to say, close enough for folk music. He still says it probably. Not bad for on the fly. So I was tuning my guitar. I guess didn't really see it. This song, not 100% sure where it comes from, but we've been singing it for a long time. Rabbi Ed used to sing it. I love it. Um, it's got Hebrew and English. It's a great song for whenever you're outside for a spiritual reason or for any reason. I always sing it during Sukkot. I'll sing it for anyways, but it's got this definite sort of native, indigenous sort of vibe to it, obviously. So here it goes. Strong wind, deep water, tall trees, warm fire. I can feel them in my body, in my spirit, and in my soul. Hey ya, 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 hey. Hey ya, 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 hey. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Adama v'shamayim chom ha'esh tzril hamayim אני מרגיש זאת בגופי, ברוחי ובנשמתי. היה, 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 Adama, strong wind, deep water, tall trees, warm fire. I can feel them in my body, in my spirit, and in my soul. So, I think that's it. That was a long one. Rabbi Randy here in the CRC Sukkah. Happy Sukkot. I will be back tomorrow on the 7th day of Sukkot. Um, I'm going to be by a river, or certainly a river, a stream. I will tell you why tomorrow. Some of you already know why, but that's it. I'm signing off, and have a lovely day. Enjoy this weather while it lasts. Stay well. And here, I wanted to show you my shirt. This is from a song by Dan Byrne, one of my favorite singer-songwriters. He was at my house just about a year ago. I won a contest. He did a house concert. And the shirt says, "Don't let your heart get broken by this world," is from one of his songs. Don't let your heart get broken by this world. And I always love the song. And I never want to let my heart get broken by the world, but the parts of the world that are heartbreaking. It just seems extra poignant these days. So don't let your heart get broken by the world. Be part of the repair, for sure, but have hope and faith and love, and miss you all, love you all. Chag Sameach.